Anyway, this conversation may go all sorts of different ways this morning, so hold on tight because I'm not sure where we're going to take it. But the very first thing that came up for me when I was in my meditation before I got on this video was just I think what the essence of duality is in my recent experiences on this plane, um, and there's been a lot of duality, and a lot of, or let's say just the need to lean into duality within myself on many levels to be able to accomplish and to be able to hold space and to be able to do and achieve the things that I'm really passionate about. um, and let me just collect my thoughts here. And a big piece of that duality was a connection to, you know, how we can utilize and how we can have resilience in our life, and how we can, use and think of resilience in many different ways. But what's coming forward for me and what I'm going to kind of paint the picture of before we go into a little bit of a meditation is first of all, what is resilience? What does that word mean to you? And for, again, just coming into my own, where I'm grappling and where I'm kind of learning and creating is resilience is something that is cultivated, learned, and learned in abundance when we're in our childhood. And some people would maybe um, disagree with that statement. And it's interesting because in my mind, when I look at childhood, and I've worked with childhood trauma, that's part of the work that I do. Is what is trauma? First of all, trauma is such a heavy, like, oh, word. Really, what it is, its root cause is the ability to go through something and create this immediate effective, is, am I safe or am I unsafe? And then making habits and making and literally creating in the moment an opportunity to move forward and possibly set up, like, it's habits. I think it starts as habits, but then they become belief systems, and those belief systems can be triggered by ourselves or little self at that age, also on what we hear and what we see and what we take in our surroundings at that age or at that time, that phase in our life. It's so much resilience. You literally, it can go all the way from seeing a child fall down from what any adult sees, and you kind of hold your breath, and everything in your adult body tightens waiting for the child to respond or react. And if they don't see, or if they aren't aware of that they should be acting in a certain way, a lot of the time what occurs is they kind of just get up again and keep on toddling along. And that's just, I wouldn't necessarily, like, that's just that, it just is. And I'm going to kind of go a little bit deeper into that because I feel it's important. When I talk about trauma, I look at trauma as just resilience. Going into and falling down is just an act, a creation of the life that we're living. It's going to happen. And what are you going to do about it? How are you going to respond to that stimulus, that obstacle? And we can go very tread very lightly here, but it's an interesting perspective to all of a sudden maybe recognize or realize that yes, there can be varying degrees of resilience and what you feel like you need to overcome, but yet at a young age, I mean, even just witnessing, I was very grateful to have the opportunity of not only having my own child, but also being a very active, very mother role in my younger brother's life too. And I remember even just witnessing how much obstacles, how many, and this is from a childhood mindset, but it was fascinating how many times things that you would think, oh, that's it, they're done. Nope, they just kind of get back up and keep on moving. So that duality of resilience is typically, for me, looked at as it's a shield. It's a shield on how to protect ourselves. Okay, that happened. What do I need to learn from that situation? How do I need to move forward to not allow that happen, or to protect myself, my heart, my mind, my energy, whatever the case may be. And a lot of the time, I think that can be looked at in a certain light as the only way. However, resilience also gives us the ability to, you know, I can't remember where I've heard this before, but the ability to look at things, and it can protect us, but it can also really push us forward, push us into our warrior stance. It can allow us to stand up taller, stronger. And